I'm still trying to process the horror that I experienced at the Rahat Palace Hotel, Almaty. It's like a never-ending nightmare that I just can't seem to wake up from. As I sit here reflecting on my stay, I'm transported back to the eerie feeling of disappointment that permeated every waking moment of my life during those fateful few days. As I walked into the hotel, I was greeted by a sense of unease. The lobby was dimly lit with a musty smell that lingered in the air. It was like they had forgotten to replace the air filters, and the result was a stagnant atmosphere that felt suffocating. I mean, who wants to walk into a hotel and feel like they're being enveloped by a damp, moldy blanket? It's like they were trying to welcome me with a big dose of discomfort. But I thought maybe the rooms would be better. Oh, how wrong I was. The bathroom was a catastrophe waiting to happen. The design was atrocious. Water would stagnate in the shower area, creating a mini pool that made it impossible to step out without slipping and falling. It was like they wanted me to break my neck. And don't even get me started on the lack of drainage and separation between wet and dry areas. It was like they had never heard of the concept of water pressure or basic plumbing. And the room itself, forget about it. The power sockets and lighting were poorly placed and barely functional. I mean, who puts a socket behind a chair, rendering it completely useless? It was like they wanted me to struggle to charge my devices just to add an extra layer of frustration to my already fraying nerves. And the lighting, dim and unflattering, like they were trying to make me look like a vampire risen from the dead. But I thought maybe the service would redeem them. Oh, how wrong I was again. The staff was rude, unapologetic, and seemingly delighted in making my life difficult. They would argue with me like I was the one who was wrong and not them. It was like they had a personal vendetta against me, and my very presence was an affront to their existence. And then there was the food. Oh, the food. It was like they had taken every bad review from the internet and distilled it into a culinary abomination. The club sandwich, I mean, who thought that was a good idea? It was like they took all the leftover ingredients from the kitchen, threw them together, and called it a day. And don't even get me started on the simple egg sandwich debacle. I mean, who can't make a simple egg sandwich? It's not like I was asking for the moon on a stick. But what really takes the cake is the 400 fine they slapped me with without any explanation. It was like they were trying to rob me blind and then laughed in my face when I dared to question them. The staff was unhelpful and dismissive, like I was some kind of charity case and not a paying customer. I'm still trying to wrap my head around the sheer audacity of the Rahat Palace Hotel, Almaty. It's like they took every bad hotel review, mashed them together, and said, hey, let's create a hotel that's the embodiment of everything that's wrong with the hospitality industry. And then they had the nerve to call themselves a 5-star hotel. I want to ask you, dear listener, have you ever experienced anything like this? Have you ever been taken advantage of, lied to, and disrespected by a hotel that's supposed to provide you with a comfortable stay? Let me know in the comments below. To me, this hotel is a symbol of everything that's wrong with our society. It's a reflection of our values or lack thereof. We reward mediocrity, we incentivize laziness, and we penalize excellence. It's like we're living in some kind of bizarro world where up is down and wrong is right. I'm still trying to process my emotions to make sense of the senseless. But one thing is for sure, I will never, ever set foot in the Rahat Palace Hotel, Almaty again. And I implore you, dear listener, to do the same. Let's stand together and demand better. Let's demand respect, decency, and a clean hotel room. What do you think, dear listener? Have you had a similar experience? Let's chat in the comments below.
Okay, so I was looking into stuff around the Rahat Palace Hotel in Almaty, just seeing what goes on. It's not good, honestly. Businesses near there, a lot of them seem to, they try to take advantage of people. It's just sad. There are these street vendors, especially in the Medu district, not far from the hotel, who sell these mystery boxes. Can you believe it? They promise expensive things are inside Apple Watches, AirPods, even cash. And if it's fake, they say you get your money back. But it's always junk. Cheap plastic garbage. Then, poof, they vanish. The lady who told me about it, she tried to go to the police, but they brushed it off at first. I bet she was so frustrated. probably just lost the money, honestly. And those guys, they probably moved on to scamming someone else, setting up somewhere new. It's just how could anyone do that? Then there's this thing with renovation companies. Apparently they have offices, look all legit with fancy Instagrams and staged photos, near Boston District, a bit of a drive from the Rahat Palace Hotel, but people travel for good deals. They get you to sign a contract, pay a ton of money, and then they start but then demand more money, threatening to make everything even more expensive. A whole group of people got stuck like that. They kept stalling in court pretending to be sick. Probably had connections, some protection. I imagine those people are still dealing with the fallout financially and emotionally. And the scammers? They probably moved to another city, started the same thing all over again. So predictable, and it gets worse. There was this educational center meta-study with a storefront. Over 100 families paid for courses for their kids, but the classes were cancelled. Teachers kept changing, and nothing was actually taught. It looked legitimate from the outside, but it was just a total scam. The parents had to make a big online complaint. I bet they felt so betrayed, like they'd let their kids down. That center probably just shut down and reopened under a different name, honestly. People get away with everything. Even SIM card stores are involved. Apparently they sell SIM cards to fraudsters who then scam people, tourists and locals. It's not like the store directly scams you, but they're helping others do it. You're staying at the Rahat Palace Hotel, enjoying Almaty, and someone is using a SIM card bought from a store nearby to steal from someone else. It's just depressing. I bet the police crack down on that store eventually, but others will pop up. It's a whole network, There were also helpers near storefronts offering to fix people's paperwork, bureaucratic stuff. They take your money and then disappear. Like what even? People are just trying to get things done and someone exploits that. I bet those victims were left completely stranded, stressing about their paperwork and out of pocket. And that guy, probably already moved on, found another vulnerable person to target. It's just, I don't understand people.
The reality of businesses near Rahat Palace Hotel. Almaty, if you're staying at Rahat Palace Hotel, you might assume the surrounding businesses would match its elegance. Unfortunately, the reality is far from perfect. The area suffers from a mix of overpriced mediocrity, questionable hygiene, and service that ranges from indifferent to outright hostile. Let's start with the shopping and dining scene. Businesses near Rahat Palace Hotel tend to be expensive without justifying the cost. MEGA Park, a nearby shopping and food hub, is a prime example. The food court is notorious for poor quality and high prices. One visitor found literal insects crawling in their salad at Uno dos Tacos, while another was served a burger at McDonald's with what they described as rotten cabbage and pale tomatoes. Even the pizza at Pizzeria Italiana left a customer writhing in stomach pain. Hygiene standards seem optional here. Then there's the service, or lack of it. At Tubatica, a restaurant that once had a decent reputation, things have clearly gone downhill. Diners report waiting an hour for food, only to be served spoiled meat that turned to mush when touched. The staff's response: a shrug. One waiter even told guests to leave because it was too expensive for them, while they were still deciding whether to stay. Nightlife near Rahat Palace Hotel isn't much better. Barmaglot Bar has developed a reputation for something far worse than bad drinks discrimination. Multiple reviews describe a bizarre entry process involving facial scans, followed by unexplained rejections, particularly targeting Indian tourists. Even when the bar is empty, they enforce arbitrary rules demand absurd deposits, and serve cocktails that are mostly ice. The staff's attitude, arrogant at best, openly hostile at worst. Accommodations aren't spared either. Yurta Boutique Hotel promises an authentic Kazakh experience, but delivers the opposite. Guests complain of cultural misrepresentation, poorly